What is going on, Multiversers? Welcome back to a bonus yay or nay episode for our Multiversus character poll series that we've been doing. We had one earlier today with Pibby, so if you haven't gone and voted in that one yet, feel free to go do so. But right now, we got Static Shock himself. Look, this dude got left out of Injustice a few times, and I was kind of bummed about that because I'm a really big fan of Static Shock, so I would love to see him in Injustice. But if he's not there, how about we get him in Multiverses, right? So another DC superhero type character, but he's not like always in the upper echelon, right? He's might be a tier below him, but he still has fantastic powers. He's got great abilities. He's got a really cool look. He's a fun character. So let's start off with the unique perk ability that I came up with. So for this one, Static Shock, basically he's going to have like an electric pulse, an electric surge that comes shooting out of his body. And the way that this works, it will be kind of like meter, but it'll fill up. So you'll have like a meter underneath his character, and it will fill up over time. Once it's filled up, you'll have a prompt to activate the ability. So when you activate the ability, this big electric surge comes shooting out of Static Shock. And the surge, what it does is it will stun all opponents for a second or maybe two. This allows Static, and if you're using this in a 2v2 battle, it'll allow Static Shock and his teammate to then try to get the upper hand real quick because, well, the opponent is, they got stunned real quick. So, again, this isn't going to be like an ability where you could just use it every 5 seconds. No, it has to be built up and charged up over time. And then when you use it, then you can hopefully put yourself in a better, more advantageous position. So it's a fun ability. I think, again, it works in 1v1s, 2v2s, even free-for-all. So it's a good one, and it's got many uses. So yes, that could be his ability. I don't have a real name, I guess Electric Surge if you wanted to, but there's that. Let's move on to move number 1 here for Static Shock. And this one we'll just call a simple little bolt strike, a lightning bolt strike. So Static Shock will kind of raise his fist here, and then he kind of points it forward, and a big electric bolt just comes shooting out of his hands, horizontally across the stage. So it's in a way, it's kind of like if you played Smash Bros with Pikachu and Pikachu's down special with Thunder. Instead of vertically, this one's going to be shooting out horizontally from his fist, and maybe it kind of has a few different bolts that are kind of spraying out of his hand, so it's got a few different hit points on it. But yeah, just nice. This is kind of like a cool little, I guess, projectile to kind of play around with, and you can probably sit there and press and hold the neutral special button. So as long as you're holding it, it will continuously have Static shooting out these electric bolts, and it's just something to kind of play around with, and it has a chance to stun an opponent as well. I mean, it's an electric bolt after all, so it's got to have some sort of shocking capabilities, right? But Bolt Strike feels pretty good for the first move, at least. Now, another trademark Static Shock thing is his Static Saucer. I believe that's the official name of it, but he flies around on, I think it's like a manhole cover, but it's a Static Saucer is what I believe they officially call it. So this could work, in a few different ways. I could imagine this kind of being more like a dash attack, right? So he gets on the saucer, and then you can either use it to kind of like raise up the saucer and hit into the opponent, or you can have him kind of fly across the saucer as he's doing a dash attack, and he just does a big old lightning punch or something like that to the effect. You can kind of see the little screenshot that I'm referring to here, but you could use it in a few different ways, and it's one of his trademark early abilities from his show. And I mean, if we're going with movesets, you got to go with something that he does. So it could be a little speedy with this. I don't know. Maybe you could even get the electric saucer somehow, or the static saucer. You could get that maybe involved in the up special possibly. So this could be like his base, because he can use his electric powers to basically fly around. So this could just kind of be beneath him, or maybe he uses the saucer as a down air. So when he kind of stomps downwards, the saucer itself is the one that is getting stomped into the opponent. So there's a few different ways you could utilize the static saucer, and I think dash attack, up special, down air, one of those should end up working. Next up, probably I'll say a forward smash, a forward strong like attack. and it's simply dubbed the Thunder Punch, the Lightning Punch, the Bolt Punch, whatever you want to call this. So I'll call it Thunder Punch for right now. But Static Shock will wind up a big fist and then punch forward with the static. So it'll, it could even have like a quick little stun effect before it sends them flying. So that way, if you're quick enough, maybe you can follow it up with something else. But big old Thunder Punch, strong attack, is going to be a big damaging attack. Hopefully a good way to end up finishing off a stock, end up KOing your opponent, hopefully with one of these type moves. Again, probably a forward smash-like attack works pretty well. Or I suppose you could do something maybe with maybe like a forward air. This could also kind of work. Yeah, either way, this should be a pretty strong, pretty powerful attack from him. So there you go. There's 3 moves that Static could possibly have in his moveset. Now moving on to a couple alternate costumes here. First up, and when I say alternate costumes, I guess I'm kind of referring to Static. The OG one, this one right here, I'm referring this one would be his default, although I'm aware that this might also not be a default, so this could also be an alternate costume itself, but for the purposes of this video, this is the one that I'm saying would be default, because then he also has his Young Justice look. So he's got the blue vest, and he's got like the I guess that's kind of a yellowish lime green kind of lightning bolt symbol on his sweatshirt there, and then he's got the lime green kind of yellow lines running down from each arm. So that's a decent look, right? I think so. And then another one that we got here is I don't know what to call this. It's like a black jacket with the gold lines running down the line. He's got the hat on backwards. Just another little look that can work for him. So I guess technically we could have, these are 3 different looks for Static to pull off. But if you got anything else, yeah, feel free to drop that in the comments. And now for the yay or nay portion. This one is my second most wanted character behind Rick Sanchez. So, I mean, is he really my second most wanted? If Rick Sanchez is, well, yeah, I think some of you get it. But either way, this one's a big yay for me. Let me know how you guys feel about Static Shock. We'll see how his overall stats do. A little bit later, well, probably next week or 2 weeks or something, whenever we do the next updated stats. But actually, speaking of updated stats, we have to get to the ones from a couple weeks ago. So here they are. Now on to the updated stats for our Yay or Nay series so far. As you can see, first 6 characters in order based on percentage-wise. So up first, we got Daffy Duck, Wile E. Coyote, Ben 10, Samurai Jack, the Animaniacs, and Mordecai. Now from last week, or the last time we've seen the results, these are the same 6 characters. However, last time we seen them, Samurai Jack was actually 6th place, and Mordecai was 4th place. So they ended up swapping percentage-wise, but you can see, look at that. Samurai Jack, Animaniacs, and Mordecai. They're all 93.81, 0.47, and 0.42. They're very, very close in terms of overall voting and, percentage-wise, as you can see. But sadly, it happened. Somebody went and did it on purpose, I think. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. I didn't get an actual result, or get an actual answer. But Daffy Duck has his first nay of the series. 125 total votes now. 124 of those are yeses and 1 single nay, dropping his percentage from 100 to 99.2. Sad day. That's alright though. He's still up there in first place. Still 99% of people. That's crazy though. Wile E. Coyote second place with 96.72%. He is down 1.55% from the last time we seen him. And then Ben 10 still in third place. He's down 0.94% from the last time we seen him. Actually, the only person on this list that actually had positive percentage was Samurai Jack. He moved up 0.13%. Small increase, but it was an increase nonetheless. So there's your first 6 characters. Moving on to 7 through 12. As you can see, we have Fred Flintstone, Joker, King Kong, Scorpion, Godzilla, and Mojo Jojo. Funny enough, these characters were in their exact spots as last time. So nobody moved spot-wise, but percentage-wise, they all changed a little bit. So Fred is now down to 91.25%. He fell 1.05%. Right behind him, we have the Joker, who also fell negative 1.03%. And he's sitting at a 90.90%. And then we got King Kong in 9th place with 90.32% overall voting. He also fell negative 1.34% last week. There's one person that came through and like gave nays to like almost every single character, which is why we're seeing a decrease in the percentage-wise. So that's why there's, it seems like a lot, but when we have like the huge majority of everyone saying yes, and then one person does come along and say no, it will drop everything. So yeah, it does seem like a big drop, but it's just how, I guess, the math is going to work out. But then we got Scorpion in 10th place, who is down to 88.05%, which, by the way, biggest dropper of the week. He fell 2.71% from last time we seen him. So big drop from Scorpion. Right behind him, though, Godzilla is down to 84.09%, which is down 0.61%. And then we have Mojo Jojo, who's actually up slightly. What's he at? 82.25% now, which is up 0.29%. Again, it's a slight increase, but it is an increase nonetheless. One of only 2 characters to increase percentage-wise from the last time we've seen him. And now 13, 14, and 15, the last 3 characters in order based on percentage-wise again, is Scooby-Doo coming in at 13th. Him and Gumball are the 2 newest characters making their debut for stat-wise. So Scooby-Doo starts off with 57 total votes. 56 of those were yeses, 11 no's for Scooby. So he starts off with an 80.70%, which still isn't terrible. 80% of people prefer to see Scooby-Doo as a playable character for Multiversus. All right, there you go. And then Gumball. I was curious to see how this one would play out. Big influence, around the world. Lots of people know about this character, so I wanted to see what was the percentage-wise. But Gumball, 79 total votes. 62 of those were yeses, 17 no's, and Gumball actually starts off with a 78.48%. So technically it is second to last place based on all 15 characters that we've done so far, and it's only 15, so don't look at it like that's a bad thing, because there's a lot of really good characters on here. But yes, Gumball, 78.48% of people prefer to see, well, Gumball playable instead of not playable. And then the last character, Spinel, who fell percentage-wise down to 57.57%, which is a drop of negative 1.16%. That is going to be it for this week. Hope you guys enjoyed the updated stats, and I guess I'll see you when I'm looking at you.
It's so good.